Things just got so much worse for Donald Trump in the Georgia trial, as video has emerged showing Jenna Ellis talking with prosecutors from October 23rd, telling them of an incident that she had with Dan Scavino, who was a top Trump aide, where Scavino told her that no matter what, Donald Trump was never going to leave the White House. Now, here is that clip. This was originally put out by ABC News, so take a look. Jenna Ellis basically destroying Donald Trump's entire legal defense. Here it is.
Okay. And at the time period where they were going to start to discuss, what was Dan Scavino's role?
At the time, I believe his title was social media director for the White House. It became deputy chief of staff at the time that the conversation in question took place.
Okay, and when was that?
The conversation was around December 19th of 2020 at the White House Christmas party. And I emphasized him. I thought that the claims and the ability to challenge the election results was essentially over, because he said to me in a kind of excited tone, well, we don't care and we're not going to leave. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, the boss, meaning President Trump, and everyone understood the boss, that's what we all called him. He said the boss is not going to leave under any circumstances. We are just going to stay in power. And I said to him, well, it doesn't quite work that way, you realize. And he said, we don't care.
Now, when I say that this basically destroys Donald Trump's entire legal defense, here's what I mean. Donald Trump argues in both the Georgia case, by the way, and the federal case to try to overturn the election results. He has argued, and his lawyers have argued, that he had the right to do these things because basically, as they put it, they're just asking questions, right? You know, well, we weren't trying to overturn the election results. We were just making sure that everything was on the level. You know, we had heard there may be some fraud, even though literally everybody told us there was no fraud. But we just wanted to double check, right? That's been their defense. Like, we did what was legally within our ability to do. Jenna Ellis's testimony right there tells us, no, you didn't. You were grasping at straws. You were doing whatever it took because the boss made it clear he wasn't going to leave the White House no matter what. That's the key there. Like, that part of Ellis's testimony where Scavino, again, allegedly told her, it doesn't matter that you're telling us that these fraud lawsuits will go nowhere. He's still not gonna leave. We've already made that decision that he is not leaving. And I gotta tell you, even though this was with regards to the trial in Georgia, I think this also really hurts him with the trial in front of Judge Tanya Chutkan, because that little bit of testimony is not just about Georgia. That's about the whole dang thing. And that would be the conspiracy against the government of the United States part. So it wouldn't surprise me to see Jenna Ellis be called by Jack Smith at this point to effectively tell that same story to him and possibly even come and tell it on the stand. At that point, it is likely that Jack Smith, possibly even Fani Willis, if she hasn't already, they could easily issue subpoenas, both of them, Smith and Willis, to Dan Scavino himself to determine whether or not what Jenna Ellis said was true. Now, Ellis, of course, as part of her plea deal in Georgia, has agreed to cooperate to the fullest extent, telling things that are honest, truthful, to the best of her memory, the best of her, abilities here. So she has no reason to lie. In fact, she has everything to lose if she lies. So that's why we should not dismiss this as, oh, she's, just talking a big game. No, if she lies, she loses the plea deal, she goes to jail. So she knows she has to be honest. Scavino, on the other hand, has obviously not been indicted. As far as I know, he has not been questioned by anyone. So he can go in and he could say, no, that's not exactly how it happened. It happened this way. He could risk himself, perjuring himself, but it is what it is right now. It's just one person recanting their version of a story. So it may not be the slam dunk we want it to be yet. I think it is, But, you know, in the legal process, there's lots of other things that have to happen. So it's time for Jack Smith to have a conversation with Jenna Ellis, and it's time for both Willis and Smith to call in Dan Scavino and see if they can corroborate Jenna Ellis's story, because if they can, it's done. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.